My dear compatriots, it is in sadness and desolation that our country is marking its National Day, this 20th May 2020, riddled as it is with violent convulsions. The current government continues to impose on the brave populations of the Northwest and Southwest this violent, barbaric and useless civil war, which they single-handedly started following the protest movements of November 2016, and whose tragic consequences are deplorable in many respects. Evidence of the damage is overwhelming. The multiplication of massacres of innocent civilian populations, one of the most recent and emblematic of which was perpetrated in Gabu on 14th February by the army, the collection of civilian and military victims of this war, the tragedy of thousands of our fellow refugees in Nigeria, and the plight of hundreds of thousands of internally displaced people. The burning of homes, the destruction of infrastructure, and socio-economic disaster generated by this war. And all this happens under the indifferent watch of an arrogant and contemptuous power. I would like to take this opportunity to once again honor the memory of the victims of this atrocious war, and to reiterate my sincere condolences to their families, as well as my best wishes for speedy recovery to the injured. It is high time that lasting solutions were brought to this unsustainable situation. My dear compatriots, the National Day is a time of communion and celebration. The Cameroonian people witnessed, somewhat with dismay, the government cacophony which surrounded the decision to cancel the ceremonies linked to the 20th May this year. While a press release from the Minister of Defense announced the organization and theme of the festivities, the Secretary General of the Presidency of the Republic the next day signed another press release cancelling the said celebration for the sake of respecting social distancing measures as part of the fight against COVID-19. And as usual, each of the two press releases was prepared, we were told, on Mr. Pia's prescription. The National Day is also an opportunity for individual and collective introspection on the meaning of our living together and national unity beyond the official slogans which, in the face of daily realities, sound hollower than ever. Is it possible to mention national unity in a context like the one I have just recalled in the Northwest and Southwest regions, where, moreover, citizens are brutalized, abused, and thrown in prison for peacefully expressing their disagreement on the progress of the country? Can we speak of national unity when leaders shamelessly instrumentalize ethnic hatred in order to retain power, which has been acquired by fraud? What becomes of national unity in a country riddled with multiple political, social, and economic fractures, created and maintained by the very people whose role should have been to bring Cameroonians together and unite them? Ethnic hatred, particularly, is now dominant in the words of many personalities who claim to act or speak on behalf of the state, as well as those who, in terms of their trajectory, should have been the enlightening thinkers of our society. State tribalism is now tribalized and exhibited. It appears both through speeches and through various acts, to the point where international reports openly denounce it. Beyond its commemorative, even festive aspect, the National Day must be understood as a moment of questioning of our individual and collective conscience on the meaning that we give to our status as a citizen and on our national ambition. Make no mistake, nobody will come to change or develop Cameroon in place of Cameroonians. Our destiny depends on us and on us alone. No friendly power, however generous, can love our country more than us. My dear compatriots, the National Day of our country comes this year in the midst of the global COVID-19 pandemic. Cameroon is ranked to date among the African countries most affected by this virus, with controversial official figures totaling 3,105 tested positive, 1,567 recoveries, and 140 deaths, not counting those of our compatriots who died abroad. I bow to the memory of all these people brutally torn from the affection of their loved ones and of the nation, and often buried in unsustainable conditions, and which is more when we take into account the fact that they are members of communities whose practice is to honor their dead. I wish a very speedy recovery to all the patients and asymptomatic carriers of this deadly virus. To our health personnel, the medical and paramedical staff, I pay a vibrant tribute to their dedication, their courage, and the sacrifice made on a daily basis in order to provide care, aid, and assistance to the sick, sometimes risking their lives. You are brave soldiers sent to the front with little means. I also note with thanks all those from near or far, Cameroonians of all stripes, associations, opinion leaders, religious and external partners who are mobilizing to help our country deal with this terrible pandemic. Noting that the public authorities had not been proactive in the fight against the spread of COVID-19, despite my various previous proposals and warnings, I launched in my capacity as Cameroonian citizen an initiative called Survie Cameroon Survival Initiative, thereafter SCSI. This popular non-partisan initiative is not, no matter what the government says, an association, even if it does not exclude becoming one in the future. Its purpose is solely humanitarian, namely to provide additional urgent aid to the Cameroonian people at risk in the face of the serious threat of COVID-19. Its management committee is chaired by Mr. Christian Penda Ekoka, whose integrity is known to all. I thank again the Cameroonian and foreign personalities who have accepted with good grace to bring their precious sponsorship to this citizen initiative. SCSI does not want a confrontation with the public authorities. It does not intend to supersede the action of the government in the fight against COVID-19. How could it do so? It only wants to bring its citizen contribution to a health war which calls upon the whole nation and which should be an opportunity for the nationwide mobilization of unity of Cameroonians without exception. It will therefore continue without a blow. SCSI has successfully mobilized exceptional Cameroonians from all walks of life, from all backgrounds, from within and from the diaspora, who have freely agreed to come to help their Cameroonian compatriots at risk. I would like to thank and warmly congratulate all of these many compatriots whose generosity made it possible to give shape to this